The E65 Zwilling, or as incoming would call it, the Tiger 2-2. Because, yeah, it kind of is that. Despite that, it still uses an 88mm at tier 8, but it's a double barrel. That's what Zwilling means. So its DPM, that's pretty good. That's very nice DPM, right? Penetration, this is like standard issue penetration at tier 8. Obviously, you're going to load full gold, because why would you not, right? It goes faster, more pen. But here's what really makes the E65 Tiger 2-2 even. What makes it so special is its charge up time, which is 1.5 seconds, which is basically nothing. You just press for 1.5 seconds and you launch a salvo of 560. But what's even more strange is the gun switch time. It's actually the same as the charge time, which, doesn't really make sense. So there's no reason to fire a double in this tank because then you get a lockout timer. Whereas if you just shoot one and then shoot the next, it's a 1.5 second intro clip, I guess you could say. Whereas a double, you charge up 1.5, fire, same result, but now you're locked out for 3 seconds. So interesting. This is like the one double barrel where I actually recommend you don't fire doubles all the time, even though I do still, because trading shots is it's good, but 1.5 seconds is so fast, there's no reason to. Additionally, if you charge a double, that's what siege mode means on Tanks GG for double barrels. It means charge the double. Your aim time gets a little bit better for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay, sure. Accuracy is decent. It's not fantastic, but it's decent. Dispersion factors are okay. What else? Speed is decent. Gun depression is good. Health is average. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's all there is to say. Oh, the shell cost is very cheap, which is pretty underlooked. And, I believe most tanks, it's like 1,000 credits per shot. This is 500. Although, to be fair, I think the Super Pershing is, 250? So this could be cheaper, but I guess it is cheap. What about the gold? 4,000? Yeah, that's not really that cheap if you think about it. Like, 4,000 is what a lot of tanks cost, maybe 5 or 6, but they do a lot more damage than this. So, spamming gold is expensive in this tank. So, I'm just going to quickly compare it to the TS54. That's probably the most obvious comparison, but the TS54 is, after all, a subscription tank that I'm guessing most people don't have or have ever played. But what about the Conceiver? I mean, the can opener is pretty popular. I think a lot of people have played this. And if you haven't, you could play it tomorrow if you wanted to. We can see the Tiger 2-2 beats it out, beats both of them out on DPM and penetration, so that's very nice. Even the shell velocity is better, which huge improvement over the TS54. That shell velocity is really bad. It actually gets ammo, unlike the TS54. You're not going to run out. And when it comes to gun handling, it's just sort of in the middle of the pack, right? It's not like the worst aim times, same as TS54, better than Contriver. The gun dispersion factors, worse than the TS, better than the Contriver. Gun depression, in between them. They all have good gun depression. What about the speed? The top speeds are kind of the same. It's in the middle of the pack, right? The engine power, again, middle of the pack. However, its ground resistances mean that it's actually the fastest out of all three of these, which is interesting. The big, heavy German tank is the fastest, but that's how it is. We keep going. Camo, sure, it's got the worst. It's big. View range, same. Doesn't have the nice fire percent that the TS54 has, but what's the armor like? Well, I said this is basically a Tiger 2-2, and it is a Tiger 2-2 with a corner plate. Wargaming just could not help themselves. They really just couldn't, and they added a corner plate, even though, I mean, none of the E-Series tanks had corner plates. The Tiger 2 doesn't have a corner plate. None of these tanks do, but this is the special someone that does. Because I guess if you were to angle it perfectly, you would only have a lower plate as a weak spot. Now you've got both, a corner plate and a lower plate. You load gold, armor kind of falls apart. Yeah, what do you expect? It's not crazy. That's kind of the biggest downside of this tank, is it doesn't have the TS54's turret, which is a very, very good turret. So that's the question you got to ask yourself. Do I want a better performing gun for worse turret armor? And honestly, I don't know. It's up to you to decide. And arguably worse hull armor, actually. Yeah, I don't think the TS-54's upper plate can be penned this easily. However, the TS-54 does have an enormous lower plate. And the TS-54 does actually have a corner plate. You know what? Why don't I keep talking about it? Why don't we just open it up and have a look? All right, there it is. Yeah, so the TS-54, I would say its hull is better, even though it's got a big-ass lower plate. Its corner plate's smaller. Yeah, look, you load gold, even though it's 250. Actually, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same, isn't it? It's the same upper plate. But the turret, yeah, look at that. So, like, even a Jagdpanzer 100 over here is going to struggle. Over here, tier 10 TDs are going to struggle unless they load gold. So, yeah, look at that. So the TS-54 does have better armor, although, funnily enough, it has this little cupola thing here. But, so, yeah, look at this. Oh, yeah. No questions there. TS-54 has better armor, but this has the better gun. So, this is supposed to be a battle pass tank, according to Quickie Baby. If you grind out all the battle pass, and then it costs like 3k gold, how much is 3k gold? It's not that expensive. What is 3k gold? I have no idea. Is it like $5 to $10? So, you grind out the game and spend $5. I would say this is probably worth it. It's got a very nice gun, and the mobility is pretty good as well. And if you're in a good matchup, then the armor does work, and that's very nice. You've got armor and DPM, plus double barrel. In a good matchup, this thing will really shine. And, well, speaking of this tank shining in good matchups, let's get on to the replays. One thing I must ask, though, why are these blue? Is there any particular reason? Can you guys leave it in the comments? Because I'm pretty sure blue light scatters the most, which is kind of shit for visibility, but okay, whatever. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is the very, very first game I have ever played in this tank, which is why I'm not using food, and I'm not spamming full gold. I literally just clicked it and pressed battle. And this is the one good replay I have. Well, when I say one good, this is the one where I renamed it, right? I record all replays, and then after this game I renamed it. I wrote like Zwilling, good close game or whatever. I think I have like 2 or 3 other replays of this tank. I didn't play these tanks much at all, actually. So, it's debatable if I'll even show you the other replays. We'll have to see. But this game was a good game. So, Oyster's Bay. Yeah. I still don't like this map. Like, if you look at the minimap, you can add as many passageways and little nooks and crannies as you want. The fight does still boil down to what you're looking at right here. 2 sides separated by a long distance. I'm just not about that. That shit sucks. But okay. So, I'm not really gonna pen a hull down Bizante. And he has like, what, 300 heat pen? He might actually pen my turret. So I'm having another look thinking, is there anything I can pen there? Because I know the Bizante's turret, it's not impenetrable. Okay, you can go through it in certain parts. But it just looks like it's not going to happen. And you know what? I'm not really in the mood of donating my health just of yet. So I'm going to come over here. Let's see. Can I put a shot into this IS-3? Well, no. He's staring this down, and this T-103 is kind of holding the corner. So, you know what? Fine. I'm just going to go sit here and wait. Yep, that's how it's going to be. I am going to wait for them to push up. I'm not about this whole hull down nonsense. And as you can see in the bottom left corner, that's my equipment. I don't know if I would use vert stabs in this. I mean, I guess, yeah, you should. Because you can't use a rammer, so what else are you going to use? And the dispersion factors are not the most amazing in the world. And so I went for a double there. You saw how fast it loaded. Only one of them penned. That's fine. He was going to pull back anyway, so I think the double was the right move there. Because even though it's a 1.5 second intro clip, when he takes the first hit, he's just going to start backing up, right? But really, in this tank, if you're not comfortable with doubles, don't fire doubles. And again, there. presumably, after I shoot his cupola, he's gonna back up, but he didn't. He actually just stayed there. And look who's coming for us. And just like the TS-54, you basically always want to fire a double because you reload so quickly. However, unlike the TS-54, maybe you can get away with just doing one and then waiting 1.5 seconds and then another, because it is 1.5 seconds after all. The TS-54 is 5 seconds. And so here that guy is. That wasn't a really good shot. What can I say? You know, whatever. And there's a scorpion over there. And, you know, I really don't feel like taking another shot from the scorpion, so I'm just going to do this real quick. Right? And then I'm going to charge double and kill this guy. So I either take another 500 damage shot from the scorpion, or I take 330 from this stone sentinel, okay? I decided to take 330 from the Bizante. So, you know, this is not really a great game. Like, 1300 damage and I've lost half my HP? That's kind of ass. However, it does get more interesting, because as you can see, the health disparity is quite similar, actually. And this scorpion over there is going to prove to be quite a nuisance. See, he wasn't lit the whole game, so none of my team know he's there. And I did say in chat, there's a scorpion over there, but nobody seems to be reading the chat or care. So then I decided, alright, I guess he's just going to chill there and shoot our team in the ass. Oh well. I want damage. I'm going to come over here. Hopefully, these tank destroyers get lit and I shoot them. So, okay. There's an ELC even 90 over there. Let's see, can I kill this guy? It looked like one of those hit and one of those missed. Maybe both hit? I'm not too sure, but we got some blind damage at least. And now I'm looking at this and thinking, hey, this isn't very favorable. I mean, like, you'd be forgiven for looking at the map and thinking, okay, wait, hold on. That was kind of unfortunate. Perhaps I pre-charged it a bit too early. Again, this is my first game. But then, you know, that looked like it was pretty much fully aimed. But again, look, you might say, oh, we have this side of the map and they have the other side of the map. We don't even have this side of the map. And look, the scorpion gets spotted. Oh, shit. Now I'm giving my broadside to 2 different tank destroyers, like this SU. And we're actually, like, losing every corner of the map. So I need to get safe. And getting safe means going down this way. Because, again, I'm in a crossfire between the Scorpion and the SU. I already took a shot from the SU. If I do not leave, the Scorpion kills me, or the SU finishes me off. So now it's even worse. I did 1 blind shot worth of damage, and now I'm a 1-shot. Not very good. However, we seem to have been reclaiming this side of the map. And, man, like, this is a lot of work to just be on 1300 damage. But again, if you look at the map, or the look at the top of the screen, I mean, we're actually down on HP. And is this guy coming? And he's dead. Now I gotta get safe from those tank destroyers. And you see, I tried to pre-charge it there. In all honesty, this tank, you don't even need to pre-charge. And oh shit, a shit pack. He's gonna kill us very quickly. I wanted to fire a double, but I didn't think I'd have enough time. Because look, I need to back up. I really don't want to take another shot from him. 330 HP. I'm actually not a 1-shot for everything that's alive right now. And I want to keep it that way, okay? The last 2 tanks are light tanks. They will probably get the first shot off, either by outspotting me or outflanking me. I cannot be a 1-shot. Anyway, this guy looked like he left. So quickly, can I get to this bush and put a shot into him before he escapes? And I had a feeling maybe he went this way, actually. And, oh! So, that was a bit of lag compensation there, what can I say? It looked like I completely missed, but I did in fact fire at the right time. But anyway, like 2k damage. Okay, is this replay ever going to get good? Well, it is going to come down to the wire. And it's a shame. I wish I had more games with this tank. And there we go. Turn this bitch around before the Lynx reloads. The Lynx could pen me if he's firing gold, but he's not. So, again, like I said, it's a damn good thing I wasn't a 1-shot there, or else I'd be dead. So, okay, just like that, 3k damage, that wasn't too bad. And of course, as you could infer, this tank does rack on the damage pretty quickly. But now, how am I supposed to kill 2 lights? And from what angles are they going to appear from? Like, that ELC even 90 hasn't been spotted in God knows how long. So, where is he? Where do you think he's going to approach from? I think he's going to approach from this way. And, oh shit, okay, there's the Lynx. He just took out one of our guys. The Roomba is a one-shot. The FE's not a one-shot. But, holy. I'm going to come over here. I'm actually very nervous being here because I am not looking behind me to where the ELC could come from. However, I need to support my team. And okay, as soon as he dies, turn around because that ELC is going to come from somewhere. And he just killed the Roomba. Now it's me and my FV friend against the RHM. And I'm thinking, where could that guy be to kill the RHM? He's here. He's got to be here. Although at the time in this replay, I thought maybe he was like further back in one of those TD spots near the base. But then the FE didn't see him. So I'm going to position myself in a way where I can get a shot on him and it's safe. So that means I'm going to go over here. And it seems at the time I said, where is he? I wasn't quite sure. I didn't think he was here because he could have gotten spotted. And oh shit, look where he is. And he made a mistake. So there we go. I guess I played that one perfectly. 3K is not a huge, really amazing game, but 5 kills. And I definitely carried this match. I mean, I did get 5 kills. I think we probably would have lost if I wasn't in this match. So, there you go. This is the one and only good replay I have. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to open another replay, one of 3. And I'm going to pick the one that is the largest file size. Because that presumably means that's the longest, most drawn out game. So, let's do that now. You guys ready? Okay, so here we are in a completely random replay. I have no idea if it's good or not. Sorry guys, but Chems, why do you have such little gameplay of this tank? Well, I played this tank, the Volkadav, and the tier 10 German rocket heavy. I played all of those in one day. Actually, in the span of like 3 hours. I think I have like 10 or 15 replays total. It was one session. So in that one session, I had 2 close games, which is pretty cool. And the rest are, you know, this. I hope this is a good replay, but we'll see. So we're not in a fantastic matchup, but I come to this corner here. There's a VCS playing like a psycho. Can I get a double off on him? That'd be quite nice. Well, it looked like someone else shot him, so I only did 90. However, this tank reloads so quickly, it's not really a big deal. So, this is the plight of World of Tanks, really. Or being a sweaty nerd, I guess. A sweaty nerd in World of Tanks. I came over here to do damage, and there's nobody here. So, yeah. This is why I don't really give a shit about 3 marking. It's like, I can't magically predict that all of their heavies would go to the 2 line. Like, who goes here? This spot right here. I can't predict that. And so, that's just kind of how it is. You know, you could make all the right plays and it just still doesn't work out. And I'm not a fan of that. That missed. Again, this tank is not, it's not bad accuracy, but it's just average. And so average in World of Tanks means missing, right? That's kind of how it is. So then I think, should I go down here? And apparently my game doesn't have enough memory. That could be from the many applications I have open right now. My computer is absolutely destroyed. I'm actually running an instance of Steel Aces right now to record footage from. So that's running in the background. And oh, look at that. Alright. He pens me with gold. Where? Upper plate, I'm assuming? I don't know. Maybe it was the lower plate. But if he's shooting down at my upper plate, I think he can pen that. You know, I just missed it. I think he tried to come down, but then he ran when he saw the 113, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, like I was saying, I have the Steel Aces open, I have Vegas open, I have a lot of Blender open, I have 2 Unity instances open. Yeah, it's quite a bit. And then there's a CS behind me, and I'm thinking, well, there's no use to turning towards him. There's shit to shoot over here. You know, if I turn towards the CS, then the 703 and the Barask turn towards me. And it's just kind of obnoxious. Like, really, this guy was here the whole time? He didn't go up the hill or anything. He didn't try to do any of that. I go for a double. It bounces. What can you do? That's what I get for not firing gold. So now I close the distance because I'm pretty sure he can just pen my turret front. He's not firing gold, but I think he might be able to because he's shooting down on it. Anyway, it looks like the I-7 and the Griffin have actually pushed down the one line. You know, it would be nice to be down there to shoot them a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. Here is the CS that put 3 shots into me, that son of a bitch. And so I want to put a double into him. Alright, let's put a double into him. This VCS said help. There we go, I put a double into him. And then he put 2 shots into that guy. So, let me reload. And, oh, looks like he's just coming in, is he? And now he's ricocheting. Oh, look, not so smart now, are you? So, let me just reload a double. And I only had 1 shot left. I don't know where that shot went. Or how it didn't pen. But, oh well. Right, bruh in chat. There we go. He called me an idiot, which is pretty funny. Like, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot for bouncing that. Oh well. And I see he actually wants to 3-mark his tank. He has 2 marks on it already. And I think by me not penning, he took an extra shot. So, I probably had some few choice words to say. I said, don't worry, you'll get your mark eventually. Smiley face. Yeah, okay, well. So, where to approach now? I don't have the most amount of health. And the T-803 could be looking at this corner. And, oh, would you look at that? Oh, well, there we go. The charge up time was so fast that I actually managed to hit that. So that's pretty cool. So, I get in chat, I say, go find him, spotter boy. It's true, though, he does have view range for a wheeled vehicle. So, yeah, I mean, are you gonna spot? Or are you, you know, you want your 3 mark, you don't want to die, whatever. So, it's kind of hard to progress when there's 2 angles the tank destroyers can shoot me from, right? Drive into a crossfire. The Scorpion will probably one-shot me. The T-103 would have to high roll. So I'm going to go after the T-103. I do that because I don't want to take the shot, and look at this guy. Well, I hope it was worth it, man, because you died immediately after. But, like, actually stop and think for a moment. In this game, it's not really a great game. I mean, like, we're winning by a huge margin. I went to the flank, and nobody was there, right? There was nobody there. And yet, somehow I managed to pull 3,600 damage. So this tank's actually quite effective, even in just regular matchups. So is this tank worth it? I guess if you can spend 3k gold, I think it is worth it. And I'm such a piece of shit, I told him, good boy. What can I say? I'm a shit talker. But yeah, that's pretty much all the replays I have for you. I don't think the other replays are going to be that interesting. I mean, this replay wasn't even interesting enough for me to, like, save it. So, yeah. Oh well. It is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thanks for watching.